Hello, I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel. And today we're looking at two mesquite honeys for their taste and smell. And one comes from Winter Park, and the other one, which we've talked about already on the channel, and the other one comes from Trader Joe's, a market you may have heard of. So mesquite honey doesn't mean it's smoky or it tastes like barbecue. It means it comes from the flowers of the mesquite plant, which is a desert plant that comes from the American Southwest or maybe even Mexico. So we're going to look at these two, taste and smell, and try them with a little food and see what they're like. So this is the Winter Park honey. It says limited edition. It's got a little medallion on it that says limited edition, like maybe they can't get it all the time. So don't be looking for it. It's not part of their core range. This is pretty dark. It's a little bit hazy. And I'm getting a good smell on it. It's fairly rich. Maybe grainy, malty, fruity. Maybe a little bit of a molasses aroma. Not real sulfury, but sweet, rich. Something is sweet, and it's not a honey type of note. To my nose. So we will get some on this toothpick and give it a taste. It is sweet. It is something like molasses. There's a rich, earthy note. So it's hard to get my nose as close to the honey as I want to, but it's part floral, and I'm not sure what kind of flower. I don't smell that kind of flower all the time. And part molasses on the nose. So get a little on the toothpick. It's sweet, rich, still on the floral side. It's not really anything like molasses, but there's a richness to it that I don't really have vocabulary for. It's nicely complex, it's sweet. It's not syrupy sweet, it's not very honey-like. Very good. Nothing wrong with that anyone would think is odd. Just not very honey-like when compared to the wildflowers or orange blossoms or clover, things that we're maybe more used to. It doesn't really change in the middle. After the arrival comes with the flowery notes and all that sweetness. It just keeps going the same way. There aren't really transitions or any kind of development. It's that same set of flavors that are hard to describe. And it just goes on through to the end, and it's a nice long finish, I'd say. I'm going to try this on a little bit of an English muffin. That's what we call these things in the US. I don't think that English do. It's something like a crumpet, maybe, mass-produced and white flour. That's the kind of thing you might eat honey on. So I'm going to spread it around a little bit. There's no butter or anything else on the muffin. Floral notes and that sweet, rich, I don't know, cereal, malty. It's not exactly like that, but something that's rich and robust and dark about the taste of this. And that's not very helpful if I can't give it a word. But that sits on the food pretty well and combines with it well and does not get lost at all. Next thing I'm going to do is put this in a little bit of tea and see how it holds up there. Since most people are probably not eating their honey off of toothpicks, like I do in most of these reviews, I'm going to test it out more in real world situations. So this is just I think Trader Joe's English afternoon tea. It's a mild black tea without a lot of complexity or strong flavors. Oh, that rich sweetness comes through in here too. So it's a pretty good honey for sweetening and might be useful in cooking if you could take advantage of the unique flavors. They're not real strong and real bold, but they're definitely there, and some people are going to like it a lot. So I could eat quite a bit of that. That could be my main honey. That's pretty good. So we've talked about Winter Park before. They're a high quality company that works in varietal honeys, and they specialize in lots of these kinds. And they have a pretty good website that I'll link to down below. Now we're going to move on to the Trader Joe's. They call it mostly mesquite honey from the desert of northern Mexico, it says on the label. Collected from bees whose primary forage source is nectar and pollen from mesquite trees. So it sounds like the bees have lawyers and have precisely defined a legally defensible description of where the honey came from. And that's good. Most companies aren't as, maybe it's just a clever name, or maybe it's a way of saying, we don't know everywhere the bees have been, but around where they live, it's mostly mesquite. So this, you can see this is quite a bit lighter than the Winter Park mesquite, maybe from a totally different region of the country, or other country. I'm going to go ahead and taste this one. Light, fruity, floral. It's got the same kind of floral notes as this other one, but there's a fruitiness to it. It seems a little bit thicker on the toothpick. A little bit of a buttery taste. And I forgot to smell. Maybe I can do that now. Smell. Yeah, mostly that floral note that I'm tasting and can't say what it is, can't describe. This is very pleasant. This would be really good as a daily honey. This was about $8 or $9, by the way, for 24 ounces. I just saw it on the shelf and picked it up. It looked interesting. It is. It's very good. It is floral, lighter. There's a hint of some flower. Let's see. I made some notes. Ambiguous floral, reminiscent of Hawaiian florals that I don't have any vocabulary for. And buttery taste when all over the tongue, but that's lighter than the floral notes, which are the main parts of the smell and taste. Light and pleasant overall, not a long finish. And I did notice before and right now that it's fairly mouth coating and oilyish on your mouth, on my mouth. I always say that wrong. Helps it stick pretty well. I'm gonna put this on the English muffin. Hope I don't get too much. That would be awful. Well, it's got one of those little membrane spouts that keeps it from making such a big mess. It's very good on the bread. All those notes come through. It's floral. It's got that buttery note to it. It's very good. It's a little bit lighter and less grainy, malty than the Winter Park. Very pleasant and makes it through the food. And this is one I have not had yet. I put a little of the Trader Joe's, mostly Mesquite, into here. And give that a little stir and see what it's like in the tea. It's sweet. Well, there's just a hint of that floral nature that I like so much. That plain or just on the bread. It doesn't seem to come through the tea so strongly. Just a hint of the buttery taste as well, and of course the mouth feel is totally different once it's in tea. So lots of the characteristics that were different than the Winter Park don't survive the tea. So it's a good sweetener. It works. It's not bad. It's just that its character doesn't come through as strongly as the Winter Park does. So those are both good, and I'd probably use them for different things or different purposes. You might find them useful in cooking. And one of these days I'm going to bring out that honey cookbook I have and show you how to use some of these things in specialty dishes. And I might check out the Trader Joe's website and see if they say anything about it or have product information on their website. But I'll certainly have the Winter Park site's link down below in the description. So if you like what you're seeing here, give it a thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell to get notifications when we post new videos, which ought to be every Monday and every Thursday. And this is the first two honey comparison or shootout that we've had. There's going to be more. We're going to be alternating single honeys with collections of different kinds, several different orange blossoms, several different acacia honeys, things like that. So that's what's coming up in the near future. So stay tuned for those, and that's all for now.